finished meeting for pronunciation practice on September 24th. Yeah. And we started with painting, the perfect pronunciation, painting with a good t and an ing at the back, ing, where the back of your tongue goes up very high and touches the back of your top of your mouth, ing. But the more casual way would be to say paintin', which means paint. Your tongue goes up to the N and the T position, which is the same position, paint. And then instead of releasing the T, paint, you hold it there and go, mm. You just make the noise. So paint, paint. And that's very similar to this person's name, which is Peyton. So I could say Peyton perfectly, but more casually, my tongue goes up to the T position, and then Peyton. So there's a little difference. You're going to hear paying a little bit of a nasal before you stop making the sound and then make the noise, paint. And here with this person's name, Peyton, I'm not making a little nasal before I stop the sound, but they're close enough to be confused. So Peyton here and Peyton here could sound very similar. So I put this commercial here because I saw this and it made me think, oh, that's a good thing to talk about. His name is Peyton and he is Peyton. And they go back and forth and get it confused. So I could say, what are you painting, Peyton? What are you painting, Peyton? And his name is Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning. And we have these words which come up a lot because they are confusing. Work. If I just say work by itself, you won't hear the K. My tongue goes to the K position and stops. So if it's at the end of the sentence, I have to work. I'm just going to hold it. If the next word begins with a consonant, I also won't hear it. I have to work tomorrow. Work tomorrow. But if the next word begins with a vowel, I have to work at noon. Work it. I'm not going to make a perfect at or cat, but work it. I have to work at noon. And world. This one is probably going to make it in the top 20 at the end of the year, again, of most requested words, because if you don't keep your voice moving as you go from the R to the L, you won't have that consistent Earl noise. So were, like where were you, and then keep your tongue moving to the front from your R position to the L and keep making sound. And hold the L position a little longer so the L can be heard, so that number 7, world, doesn't sound like number 8, word. So make it 2 parts. World, world. And again, if it's at the end of the sentence, you won't hear it. What in the world? What in, the T will change to a D. What in the world? Or if there's a consonant after it, I can't think of a word that would come after world. Um, world news. World news. But if there's a vowel after it, now you will hear it released with the duh noise. World of competition. Word. I'm holding my tongue in the R position and then the D, so you can hear the R, were, before I move it to the D. Word. If I go too quickly, what, you can't hear the R. So word. Think of it as the same were, where were you, and then you finish with a D. Word. And hold it there. I can't think of the word. It's at the end of the sentence. What does that word mean? There's a consonant after it, you still won't hear it. Word mean. If there's a vowel after it, you'll release the duh and make the airflow. Word of the day. Word of the day. Oh, Surfin' Bird is a song here that it's a very old song and it's been remade a few times, but this is the original. It's called Surfin' Bird, and they say bird, 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 bird is the word many times, and bird and word sound exactly the same, even though they have different spellings. So on this tab down here for our practice, I made a list of some different spellings that still have the same as in her sound. So phonetically, you would write these with the same symbol. There's 2 symbols. Um, Sometimes people don't have that little symbol with the E with a hook on it, so you can put these two next to each other. It's fine. But it could be ER, her, OR, effort, or worry, or work, or EAR, earn, or UR, hurt, or IR, first, or we did UR, IR, bird. So surf and bird have the same sound, and word, bird, word. So you'll have a lot of repetition in that song. While. Why, your tongue goes very high, and then you'll, it slides down and up for the L. While, while. And it's the same aisle vowel in just the word aisle, like grocery store aisle or row. And the while, even though there's an H there, the H is not pronounced at all. We just skip it. In the past, yes, Americans did pronounce that H, and it was with more airflow, while, while, but we don't now. But this commercial is, uh, he's pronouncing it wheat, wheat. And why are you pronouncing it like that? So it's a good example of hearing it many times, and then remembering that we don't pronounce it that way. Wheat, no H at all, just wheat. And because this word ends with a voiceless t, that means the vowel duration will be a little shorter. Wheat. Even if I'm not releasing the T, I'm holding it there. You can hear a tiny difference between 12 with a T, wheat, and 13 with a D because the D is voiced, so the vowel will be a little longer. But I'm going to hold the D and you won't hear it. Weed and wheat, weed, wheat, weed. That's it. Visual. So start with your top teeth on your bottom lip. Vision. Keep the airflow going and keep your voice on the entire time because you need good zh vibration for the zh sound. If not, it will turn into the sh visual. So more voicing. Visual. Then you round your lips halfway through instead of making it visual or pushing it together. Visual. And the same for visualizing, visualizing, visualizing. This is here as another version of vision, vision, as in vision board. And this is here to point out that it's really the SU combination we're pushing together and making the zh visual instead of visual. Straighten. It's another example of a syllabic N. Your tongue goes to the T position for straight, and then you make the N noise. Straighten. Straighten up and fly right is a song, another oldie, but you'll get to hear straighten up over and over again. Adversaries. Adversaries. Hardheartedness. This one's interesting because hard, you hold that D, you won't release the D. Hearted. The first T is, well, the only T. Heart, you will change to a D, and then this D you won't hear at all. So it'll sound like hearted, heartedness, hard-heartedness, hard-heartedness. Courtney. This is another T that you won't hear. You just hold it there and you're ready for the N. Courtney, Courtney. And that's the same as going to court if you, for the law, court, hold the T. This could be pronounced Leonore, which is probably more American English style, Leonore, or Leonore, Leonore. And that's where we got. So I'll do them again without all the chit chat. Perfectly, painting. Casually, paintin'. The name, Peyton. Work, world, word, working, while, aisle, wheat, weed, visual, visualizing, straighten, adversaries, hard-heartedness, Courtney, Leonore or Leonore. You'll have to ask the person to find out how they pronounce their name. Thank you. It was good to see everyone on a Tuesday. And I think someone had asked a question about stop T, and we did have several here as examples. If it's at the end of the word, like wheat, you're just going to hold it. Courtney, you're going to hold it before the next sound, which is a consonant. Let's see, what else did we have? What do we have? Oh, well, we had this holding the T before the syllabic N. Peyton. So it came up a few times, and I'll do some more next week as well. All right, thanks, and have a good day or evening. Thanks.